Ehrhardt, South Carolina is a town not many have heard of. It's a rural place with a supporting population of only about 500 people. During the day, a tractor can be seen driving down the road, its driver offering a friendly wave. Pastures of cows and horses stretch across the landscape. It is a charming southern farming town. And at night, it's pretty quiet here too, with the only noises coming from nature's symphony. And when the lights go out, all you can see is stars. I should know. I grew up here. My family still lives here. In fact, we can trace our family back to Ehrhardt's early days. And although there are many farming towns just like it stretched across the South, there is something very different about Ehrhardt that separates it from all the others. You see, for a town so small, it is quite unusual to have two churches of the same denomination within a couple of miles of each other. Not only that, but to be able to trace the current families in the church to some of the founding families is something special. What history these two churches have witnessed. When Ehrhardt was settled, the area was primarily made up of German, Swiss, and Dutch immigrants. They wanted a place to worship that reminded them of home. And thus begins our tale of two churches. Originally, the first church was St. Bartholomew, which is now Mount Pleasant Lutheran Church. This congregation can trace its history back to around 1750. It was about a mile from town at a crossroad. Conrad Ehrhardt, the town's founder, wanted a church closer to town, so Ehrhardt Memorial was built within the town limits in 1904. Mr. Ehrhardt stood up after its dedication sermon, declared the church out of debt, and deeded them the 2-acre lot as a gift. Look closely at the front doors to Mount Pleasant behind me. Do you notice anything odd about this Lutheran church? Well, traditionally, as a symbol of the blood of Christ, the church entrance doors are painted red. Now, red doors on a Protestant church also symbolize its roots in the Reformation. Now, the late Mr. George Copeland may have explained it best why these doors are white. With a twinkle in his eye, he would say, "These doors symbolize the Dutch background of this church, and they will never be painted red." Here's a little history for you. The early sermons at Mount Pleasant were delivered in German. In fact, the Reverend John Henry Groff, who served as pastor from 1800 to 1811, was not liked and was fired because he preached only in German. It was also said that a common punishment was to have to sit through his often 3 to 4 hour sermons. Ehrhardt Memorial was originally known as Ehrhardt Evangelical Lutheran Church. Sometime between 1925 and 1928, the name Memorial was added to honor Conrad Ehrhardt. With two Lutheran congregations in such a small town, you would think they would combine into one. Well, according to church history, numerous attempts were made to combine the congregations between 1958 and 1963, to no avail. There is too much history and too much heritage in each. Although they do share a pastor and combine services on Easter and Christmas, but alternating the location each year. From my family's pew here at Mount Pleasant, we'll see you next time on Stories, Secrets, and Sagas.